Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be explaining exactly how to sell out every single collection you have for your clothing brand and literally everything, okay? When I say everything, I mean 80%, okay? Obviously, you're probably not going to sell out every single size, every single product, but I'm talking like 80%. As long as you sell 80% of the collection, I personally think it's selling out because, the fact that you're going to drop 8 different products, for example, and you have, literally 40 SKUs if you have 5 sizes each, the fact they're going to sell every single thing and every single size out, every single product out, it's pretty unlikely, okay? Obviously, if you sell one product in a collection, that's different, but I'm assuming you have like 8 products in a collection. Anything under that, it's a little bit easier, obviously. But I'm gonna be explaining exactly how to do that and how the method that I personally use for my brand. And I will also be explaining why this is not the best thing that you should do for your business because a lot of people think that selling out, getting a bunch of sales in one day is very good, which don't get me wrong, it is fire, but you know, it's not as good as you guys might think. So, number one, how do you actually sell out a collection? Okay. So, this is pretty self explanatory. The only way that you can sell out a collection is if you have hype built up and you have your website closed, and then you finally open your website, and then people rush to buy the product. Okay. A very good example of a brand that does this a lot is Hellstar, Cortez, any big streetwear brand does this a lot. And a lot of low key, small brands also do this as well. And this has been very trendy for a while. So what they do is they close the website, nobody can buy it, but once a month they open it for 2 days, 3 days, and people can go buy maybe even a day. And after that, they close the website. Okay. So that is the basic overview on how to build hype up and what most brands do. This is where the problem comes in. But before I go over the problem, I'm going to be explaining what the hype process is like. So let's just say you have a collection. You have 5 products in a collection. Okay, you have a hoodie, shirt, beanie, a bunch of different products. They're all pretty good, decent, and you're trying to hype it up. So what you would do is you would pretty much market the products. So whether it's influencer, organic, running ads, paid, well, it doesn't matter. Like I'm not going to talk about the marketing aspect of it because there's so many different ways to market it. But let's just say you're posting on TikTok, you're doing giveaways, you're doing a bunch of different things to market it, but your website is closed. So the hype, build hype, selling out. I think a very good example of that is that hot girl that you always see at the gym. Okay, you go to the gym. She's hot. She's bad, bro. She's a 10 out of 10. She's pretty. She's naturally pretty too, and she got a nice body. You feel me? So it's the hot girl that you always see at the gym, and like in your head, because obviously you don't talk to girls. Don't get me wrong, I don't talk to girls either. I've never talked to a single girl except for my mom. But because you don't talk to girls, you look at her and you're like, damn, bro, like only if I can have her as my girlfriend. You hope and pray. You're like, oh my god, life would be so much better, right? So you think that, okay? But let's just say somehow you got very lucky, okay? The girl thinks you're cute, which she doesn't, but this is hypothetical. So this is the reason why this would work. But let's just say she thinks you're cute, and she comes up to you, she talks to you, and oh, by the way, if you guys hear that in the background, it's the laundry. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's having intercourse, but anyways, back to the point. Pretty much the girl comes up to you, she thinks you're cute, she asks you out, and you guys eventually date, okay? You get to know each other, but the more you talk to her, you realize that she is a hoe, okay? She's been with 30 other guys before you. She has a lot of daddy issues. She has problems. She's bipolar. You feel me? She's narcissistic. She literally is controlling, and she's very toxic, okay? So the more you talk to her, the more you find out about the bad traits about her. So she's not all sunshine and just rainbows. There's also bad traits about her as well. So as time goes on, you eventually start to realize like this isn't really what I wanted. Okay, like your type of girl is somebody that is very feminine, somebody that likes you a lot, but she's very toxic, a lot of drama. She's a hoe, and she has a boring personality. Which, if you're a hoe and you have a boring personality, I don't think that works. Usually, hoes have good personalities, but let's just say, she has a boring whatever. This is hypothetical, obviously. So, let's say she has a boring personality. She's drama, toxic. That is what the drop day sold out collection is like. Okay. So the reason why I give that reference is because every single brand owner, when they first start a clothing brand, their goal is to sell out their collection. Their goal is to sell out. But in reality, the reason why this is not as sunshine and rainbows as you might think is because you're not making money. Okay. So what people don't realize is, obviously there are exceptions. If you're Hellstar, if you're a big brand, if you have over $100,000 or 100,000 followers, you can do whatever you want with your brand. But I'm talking about in a standpoint of like a brand that has like 10K followers, 5K, you have very low follower count, right? And you're not as big. You haven't hit six figures yet. Or maybe you just hit six figures, right? So for those type of brands, what people have to realize and what people don't realize is the fact that you don't make money. Okay, so for example, let's say you do the hype method and you try to sell out your drop, right? You literally have your website closed for 3 months, okay? Which means you're not gonna make money for 3 months. So you have no cash flow for 3 months just to build hype, right? So you have no cash flow for 3 months. And then finally, after 3 months, you drop your first ever collection, okay? You have 5 different products and you sell out. Obviously, because considering that you marketed it for the 3 months, you sell out completely. Okay, you sell out, you make $20,000 in one day, which is crazy, right? $20,000 in one day is crazy. And then obviously, because you sold out, you have to close the website again, and you wait another month to fulfill the orders, send everything out. So in 4 months, you made $20,000, but you made $20,000 in one day. So you get a very big dopamine hit. You're scrolling through all the Shopify notifications. You're getting ding, 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 back to back to back. You're recording it on your phone. You post it on TikTok. People think that you're selling out like crazy. Everybody loves you. But what people don't realize is that's one option. Option number two is to pretty much just have your website open 24/7, okay? Have your products available 24/7, never sell out, okay? Always have inventory. And guess what? You're going to make $80,000. So instead of making $20,000 in 4 months in one day, you're going to make $20,000 every month. So 20 times 4 is 80, so $80,000. So my suggestion to you, or I guess I'm laying out the options. Would you rather make $20,000 in one day in 4 months, or $80,000 throughout 4 months? Okay. So the problem with all these brands that are mysterious, that want to build hype, there's nothing wrong with this, don't get me wrong. But the problem that most brands have is you're not a big brand yet. You haven't hit six figures yet. You have no sales or nothing. And you're spending 3-4 months of your business, okay, not dropping anything, not having anything available on your website, and you want to build hype because you want to be mysterious, which is fine. I get it, right? I wanted to become mysterious as well. Every guy does, every business does, but the downside to that is that you're not going to make money. So a good analogy I like to give a lot is if you compare two brands, okay, similar follower count, similar, size of brand. So if you compare my brand, for example, to any other brand that has similar follower counts as me, similar everything, right? And for me personally, I never close my website, so mine is always open. And the other guy, let's say he closes his website and he does the mysterious, hype method. You feel me? Where he closes his website for a couple months and he drops, the collection, and he opens it for like 2-3 days. I promise you, I make more money than him. I make more money than the guy. I make more money than him. I don't care what you say. I don't care who it is. I get more sales than the guy that closes his website 24/7. It's not even me being arrogant. This is science. This is just math, okay? Like, if I have my website open 24/7 and I always have inventory available, I'm going to get more sales, regardless of me hyping it. I don't even need to hype it up, bro. I could just be running ads, right? So there's a lot of problems that come with hyping up your drop. But, that is how you do it, okay? So I just explained how to do it. I also explained why you shouldn't do it. And I'm finally going to close this point by explaining whether or not you should do it, okay? So a very good way to do this and approach this situation is to get the best of both worlds, okay? So ideally, back to the girl reference, you want a girl that's a 10 out of 10 and has a good personality, right? Not the toxic one. So the problem with that is 9 times out of 10, you can't get the best of both worlds, okay? Because life is not fair. So if you get a 10 out of 10 girl, she's usually going to have some problems, or she's usually going to be a hoe. But, if you want a good personality, she's probably going to be a 7 or an 8, okay? So you can't get a 10 out of 10 and get a girl that has good personality at the same time. So same exact thing. You can't close your website 24/7 and have your website 24 or open 24/7. It doesn't work, right? So you're going to have a balance of both. But the way I personally do it is I have my website open 24/7. Okay, so anybody can buy right away. I try not selling out, which is kind of ironic because most of my products right now are sold out. But the reason why is because of the Chinese New Year, so I couldn't place any bulk orders. So that was that. But obviously I did place another bulk order to restock most of my products that are popular. And also on top of that, if I do have a collection, I don't close the website. Okay, so maybe like a day before I do, but for the most part I don't. Okay, so maybe throughout the year I close my website maybe a couple days. You feel me? So it's usually open 24/7. The reason why this works and the reason why this is probably the best method is because look at every other big brand. Literally, look at every other big brand. Like Nike, Louis Vuitton. Do they ever close their website? No, they don't. So if they're doing it, why shouldn't you? Also, I made this video on TikTok and it kind of went viral. And one argument that I heard was that it doesn't build hype, it doesn't build exclusivity for your brand, which I totally do understand. But the problem with that is like all these brand owners that are saying that, they already have a lot of followers, okay? If you have over 30, 40, 50K on Instagram and you've been, starting your brand, you've been doing it for a while, you can do anything. You can have your website open 24/7. You can close it every month and open it once a month. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. But the point I'm trying to make with this is for most of you guys, okay? Majority of you guys that have a clothing brand, average, just making $1,000 per month or whatever, you'd be stupid to close your website because you're losing out on opportunities. You're losing out on sales. It's like the same thing as you trying to become and start a personal brand, but your account is private. Like, what? Like, okay, I get it. You're trying to be mysterious, but like, it's just the basic 101 fundamentals, right? So that is pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later.